Duane is back in Global War of the Visions, but he brought some friends. He's that guy. He showed up with +2, and you only asked him to show up by himself. But you know what? I can forgive him because he's such a good unit. I'm so excited for him. But you have to make some pretty important decisions because with Fravia and Zazan also arriving, you can't possibly do them all, which is fine. It's a gacha game. It's not a big deal. So to anybody that's saying, how could they do this to us at the same time? Get out of here. They're all going to come back. Make a decision for your account that's going to make you happy, and then hopefully improve your account, and that's about it. So today I'm going to share all the information about Duane's EX so you can factor that into your decision making. Thank you to warofthevisionscalc.com for the information used in this video, and I'll quickly flash the information across the screen that you need to EX a unit. And we're going to get 6 blossoms on Wednesday, so whichever unit you want to go for, you're going to be ready to go even if you're at 0, so that's all pretty nice. Let's take a look at Duane's stats. At level 99, he was already competitive. Like right now, he is competitive. He has good HP. 454 attack is actually still pretty high. Like some EX jobs are around that, the MRs, tanks, and even some attackers are around that range. And he has defense penetration as well, and an ability to raise his slash attack. His agility wasn't great at 58, but it wasn't awful either. And he has a little bit of defense as well. So when we go to 120, he gets a ton of HP, going all the way up to 4,560. 551 attack is a really big boost, and that's entirely in base attack. Like he didn't get any attack on his board node, and what that means is he gets just a big juicy buff to his any of his attack up passives or any attack up buffs that he gets from any source at all, from other people, from himself, from an Esper or something. It's all going to be boosting that base attack that he got upgraded, and then otherwise some defense, lots of dexterity, lots of luck, and then 4 agility, which is seriously crazy. So to have someone that is this bruisery, tanky, whatever you want to call them, and then for them to get even more agility, yes, there's so many fast units that are EXs that you kind of do need to have some high agility, but it just seems like he got everything. So I'm definitely pumped about that. Next up, we'll take a look at Duane level 115 to 120, and this will help you make your decision on whether you're going to go all the way with him. Now, I actually have 200 shards from the barracks already, so I could just go to 115, no problem, right on Wednesday, but I'm going to go to 120, and I'll tell you why. So the stats here aren't incredible. He does get some HP, but it's not as much as like Rain got, for example. He doesn't get a ton of attack or base attack, and he doesn't even get any more agility. So when you're taking a look at the stats here, you can say to yourself, like, yeah, I'm not missing out on that much. As a free-to-play player or someone that's really trying to save their blossoms, you could always, work on them in the barracks for longer and save yourself a ton of Visior as well if you wanted to. But the reason I'm going to 120 is because I really like his 120 new skill. So we'll take a look at that next. Duane's EX upgrades are very simple. He got lots of great stats, and his upgrades are just really solid. So first up, Darkness is going to have a physical barrier break. So that's it. There's no other range upgrades, no potency upgrades. It's just a really solid skill that has a chance to inflict disable on somebody and do lots of damage. So really, really pumped about that. Just such a good skill to have to break barriers. Then Knighthood, which gave Duane 15 defense, is going to give 10 slash resist and 10 pierce resist. Now Duane's already strong in these resists. It means he's going to be even more of a bruiser if you want to use him as a tank, or kind of like a diversion tank where they just tank for, in his case, for a few turns, and then you're pushing some damage and trying to finish off the fight quickly. He's going to be able to do that even better now. So definitely really pumped about those 2 upgrades. And then Duane is getting a brand new skill. This is a 22 AP, 165 potency slash attack. It has 4 range, but 2 range height, which is very good for all PvP modes, and then it also has a slash imperil by 25% for the target for 3 turns, which is just really strong. So this is your breaking through a tank attack. You already have 30 defense penetration. Now you can break their slash resist a little bit, plus whatever, you know, slash resist penetration you might get from, you know, VCs or espers or whatever things that you're working on. So there's a lot of potential here for Duane to just be breaking down barriers and kicking in teeth, doing lots of damage to, sadly, Warrior of Light, but also other tanks like Monta and I guess who else? Charlotte coming up. So definitely a big fan of all these upgrades. I know that you might think to yourself, okay, well, I can get slash resist and peril from Mont or from Gilgamesh, and then maybe that you're going to think, okay, well, I don't have to go get this 120 skill. I could leave him at 115. Now you saw that you're not going to get that many stats, so you could really save some Visior here, and then guess what? You can hop on over to Fravia or to Zazan, and maybe you can get one of them instead, or work on one of them. If you already have Fravia, then you can finish her. That's up to you. Personally, for me, I think that just having this on a skill is super powerful, especially in dark teams where, you know, you can be breaking slash resist for your other dark slashers, which is a well-known archetype in the game. So I'm going to make a few comparisons for Duane to some units that are currently out, and then units that are coming in the future. So first up is King Mont. You know, Duane is a tank in a lot of ways. He has a passive hate skill, he has defensive buffs, he has good resists, and he has, you know, abilities to take on all types of damage, and that, you know, makes him a tank. The only thing he's missing is that active hate generation. So the first comparison is with King Mont. And King Mont has a little bit more HP than Duane does. You know, he has more all-around resists and abilities to, you know, increase his elemental resistance, or his Nightblade, so he can use dual resist, and he also has more agility and just like more, you know, like the active hate generation. So King Mont is obviously going to just do more tanking than Duane can, but really, I mean, Duane's going to be a better pierced a tank than King Mont is, and he's also going to be a better magic tank a lot of the time as well, because Duane does have a natural magic resist, and if you just stack that, he can do something to increase his spirit. He can also use his own TMR if you want some magic resist on him, something that I used to do back in the early days against Yuna, and it actually was pretty effective. So you have lots of options for Duane. Now, of course, King Mont does have similar options and has teammates that can raise his magic resist, so there's definitely lots of different ways to go, but yeah, Duane has some pretty good capabilities of being able to take lots of damage if you want to build him super tanky, but at the end of the day, what you're also getting is way more attack than King Mont, way more slash attack, way more defense penetration, and if King Mont's not using his card, he's got none. So definitely Duane is a step up in most ways, unless you're really looking for that pure tank that you can sustain for a long fight. Next up, we can talk about a little comparison with Auron. And the reason I picked Auron is because he also has defense penetration, he's got barrier breaking, but he's got like 100% hit attacks and other things like that. But then you can see, just looking at their resists, that Duane, again, is going to be surviving all these situations where Auron can't survive. And again, that kind of speaks to the strength of Duane to be this super powerful attacker, but still, you know, able to take hits from most types of damage and be okay for, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 attacks. Finally, I want to compare Duane to Cloud, who is coming out in just a little while, and it's an interesting comparison because if you look at it, well, okay, Duane's got more HP, he's got more attack, he even has more crit rate. The only thing that Cloud's actually winning in would have to be the agility category, but Cloud has a lot of other stuff in his kit that Duane does not. Namely, he has 60 defense penetration. He also does have slash resist and peril as well. He has typeless attacks to get through all your resists in general. He has range and multiple attack types. I mean, Duane has pierce attack type. So Cloud is going to be definitely more geared towards attacking than Duane. He's going to do more damage. Cloud has a bunch of ways to raise his crit chance and just do huge critical hits. So I think that Cloud is going to be a stronger attacker than Duane. He also gets, you know, a specific weapon for himself. But Duane, again, he's just going to be able to take more damage than Cloud can. He's really just a safe build because of his ability to kind of just be in a team and be himself. You can have his hate up and have him take a few hits, or you can just have him come in and just crush people. It doesn't have to be a mono dark party. He's just that good. And that really gives him some staying power for a long time to come. And that's what we saw in Japan, that he was just a hugely popular unit when he came out, and he really dominated the arena meta. Let's take a look at whether you should EX Duane from a couple of perspectives. So first of all, I'm just going to say if you have Duane already, then yeah, you should EX him. You're getting defense penetration, you're getting the barrier, break, and slash and perils utility, high HP, high resists, and then synergy with tons of popular dark units and just with tons of teams in general. So he's a safe bet, really strong unit. Now, should you actually go for Duane if you don't actually have him? If you're a new player, if you're kind of low on Visior, that is a little bit trickier to figure out. And I think that if you are in a financial position to do so, then yeah, you could get a really powerful unit that's going to serve your account for a long time. And I think you could go for it, but you have to be careful depending on, do we know, are his shards going to be discounted? Are we going to have some crazy, token system where you can buy him after you get a certain amount of tokens, like a pity, or that if it's just like the buying the festival tokens where you can just buy him for like what, $50 or whatever it was last time, then yeah, any sort of light spender can do that and it's worth it because he's a really good unit. But if you're free to play and you have to pull him and there's no pity, if his shards are full, like the double cost price still, then I think you really have to make that decision on how impactful he's going to be for your account. And again, he's safe, he's going to be impactful, but maybe you already have lots of tanks, maybe you already have some really heavy slash damage dealers, and you're just thinking, I could just wait for Cloud, who's going to be doing tons of damage, he's going to be regular price, and he's probably going to have some pity or something with the FF7, we're going to save up lots of Visior, it's going to be safer for me, then yeah, that's also a really good choice. So I know I haven't given you a full answer, but a lot of it depends on what Wednesday looks like with the banners, the shops, etc. That's going to be it for today's video, and I hope it was useful for you. If it was, you can subscribe to the channel, you could comment in the comment section below, you could even join us on Discord, and the link to that is in the description for this video. Otherwise, I'll see you all in the next one.